Okay, so we're going to have a look at a typical funk pattern, which a lot of you might see and think, oh, that looks very complicated. So I'm trying my best to break it down. I've taught this in lots of different ways, and I think this might be the best way. So I'm going to use Get Lucky by Daft Punk and Pharrell to use it as an example. So I'm just going to demonstrate it first and then break it down to its simple components. So okay, so the first thing is working out this counting. So it's in 16ths, which means that a bar of 4, if you can see here, a straight bar of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, has 4 beats within it. So you would count that as 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and now you might be used to counting in 8s, which is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Well, this E and the R is in between the and the main beat. So the main beat's 1, 2, 3 and 4, and the and, so the E and the A is in between that, and then there's always a subdivision in between that. So it's like maths really, it just keeps dividing into itself. So the first little exercise I've got is to mute the strings and just get this pattern and get it counted. So I want you to just mute the strings. So you're placing your fingers on the strings gently, because if I pressed on, you don't want to get a noise, you want to get just a nice, just touching the strings. And I'm focusing me sort of strumming on the thinner strings here. I'm not going up here. And I know it's hard to do that, but occasionally you might catch one of these deeper notes, but that's fine. So I want you to count like this: 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and just get a constant because in between the chord you're going to have the muting notes. You're going to have this, so you'll be placing the chord on, you know, what in between this. Okay, so that's what we got there: 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a. So just practice that. Now I've taken away the sort of count to let you show the main feel of it. This doesn't add up to a bar of 4, by the way, because what's going to happen is on the main beat you're going to have a down and a down. So I just want to get the main feel of this offbeaty thing, and you can see the chord hits down there, and then you've got 2 mutes, and then it's an up with the chord, 2 mutes, and a down with the chord, 2 mutes, and then an up. So it's going down, up, down, up, down every time you hear the chord. But these ones in grey, they're where you're going to mute the strings. So you can see it'll give you some kind of syncopated feel, where syncopated meaning you've got the on the beat, the off beat, on the beat, just sort of at different points. Now we're going to use, for this example, the chord we're going to place on is going to be the first chord in the song. So we're going to bar the first 3 strings here. This isn't like tab music. This is the thin string down here, and that's on the 7th fret with the first finger, just barring the 7th fret, first 3 strings. I'll show you what that looks like. So here, see there? So that's on the 7th fret. So that's going to be your chord. And I'm going to demonstrate how to read that with this. We're not doing the root of the chord, by the way. So what I want you to do is hit the chord as a down, and then 2 mutes. So that's going to be, I'll tell you what, I'll just show you the very first little bit. So this is going to go. So there. So show you. So chord, 2 mutes, and then up. If you notice, I'm not going. I'm not just hesitating there to get the next upright. It's this hand is constant. What's this? Get that going. That hand will constantly keep going. I won't go. Yeah. You're better just keeping that hand, practicing keeping that going, and then do this. So it's chord, chord. Okay. So then you've got 2 mutes after that. So let's practice this one. So you got chord, mute, mute, chord, mute, mute, chord, mute, mute. So really, once you've mastered that, it is a case of looping that. So we'll just do one bit of it and then keep it at that. So you're doing a chord, 2 mutes, a chord, 2 mutes. And if you notice, your chord on the first one's a down, and the second time you play the chord, it's an up. So to loop that round would be. So I'm going to put on that sequence, the whole of that sequence. So you got down, up, down. I'm going to say in the blue when I'm talking through this now, I'm going to say the blue one's louder than the grey one. So it goes down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So it is very hard to explain this. I've tried lots of different ways, but hopefully if I say it in lots of different ways, something will click with you. So okay. So now we want to add in a root to the chord. So if you can see with the count up here, your 1 is going to be here on this 9th fret on the 4th string up. So you might find it hard to bar there and put your 3rd finger there. You might want to use your little finger. It's easier to get this bar here. So you're going to pluck that on its own. Okay. So I'm going to demonstrate what happens here. So you can see the root here is the arrow on the 1. The chord is these blue things. That's what you're going to hit, and then the mute. So it's a mixture of all these 3. And I put here, this shape comes from the E minor bar shape. So that shape comes from this. So like you've got an E shaped bar. And if you take that off, that's an E minor. And just playing the top half of that. So let's see if you can look at the counts here. You've got 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and A, 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and A, 4 E and So you can see I'm accentuating the sort of chord there when I'm saying through that, and that's what gives you this sort of funky offbeaty rhythm. So going from here, the root, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and after a while you better not counting it, you know. You're better just feeling it. So it's doom, deck, 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 deck. I'm going to do that slow, so. to show you what that looks like. Okay, so that's just on one chord. Now you've got 3 other chords. You've got it going to a D. So I'm doing that as an A-shaped D. So I'm putting this on the 5th fret. And there, I'll show you the shape there, because I know some people like to visually see the chord box. So this shape comes from the A-shaped barred. So you're putting your first finger on the 5th fret there, 5th string, and then your bar in there. So you can see it looks like an A major shape. That's where it's from, this shape. But bar in it up here turns it into a D chord. So there. So you play the root. So you got. And then you've got an F sharp minor 7, which is here on the 9th fret, and it's a, if you look, it comes from the A minor 7 shape here. See there? But because it's up here on the 9th, if you follow the root up here and up the chromatic scale, you'll notice that that stops on an F sharp. So that's why this is an F sharp minor 7 from the A minor 7 shape. Sometimes it's good to explain where things have come from rather than just parrot fashion learning, watching someone play. So root, and then the last chord is on the E. So it's the same as the D but 2 up. So if you can do the D, you can start that on the 7th fret and watch root. So I'm going to show you the last 2 chords on the chord boxes. So here you've got, see there, shape comes from the A minor shape barred. So you see that's on the 9th fret with your first finger and your 2nd and 3rd finger on them notes. And then the E is here, comes from the A shape. So it looks very similar to the D. Well, it is similar, but just on a different fret there. So I'm going to just practice the chords. So you got a B minor, then you got a D, then you got an F sharp minor 7, and then you got an E major. So B minor. You could do a full B if it's just you on your acoustic. And D. If I was doing a gig and I was singing it with just an acoustic, I would do a full chord. If you just got a drummer and a bassist, you want to keep the part a bit more less fuller and clumpier and more just thinner sounding. So you notice a lot of lead guitar parts are just the thin, they're not full big shapes because they're giving space to the drums and bass. So if you don't have that, then yeah, do a full B minor chord. So here's your B minor to a D, F sharp minor to an E. Practice them 4 chords to a D, F sharp minor 7 to an E, and with each one you want the rhythm. You can add little notes like here. You know, you can add use this little finger to add little extra notes. So I'll try it with the full chord. So I'll hit the root here now. D, F sharp minor, reason why we use the bar chords is because you have so much control over bringing all the notes off to get that mute sound in the middle. If you were using open chords, which you could play all them chords as open chords, B minor, yeah, that's barred, and then D. You've got ringing out notes, so how are you going to constantly do the mutes in between that? You know, F sharp minor, yeah, you can do it, and then E. You've got open notes here. But if you wanted to do a mellow version of it, like you could do that and sing it. That's probably how a lot of people would approach it. They'd look on the tabs and see the chords and then just strum it and then sing it. But it's nice to get the rhythm, get the funky rhythm going, and it does sound like a bit more to it. And you can switch off from it and start singing. The gift keeps on giving. What is this I'm feeling? If you wanna leave, I'm with it. And the reason I can do that is because this sounds like that. It's just like tapping along and singing to me. Like, just if it was sort of a regular, you'd find that hard to get the singing in. So strumming, always you want to be aiming to achieve a constant sort of up and down. Okay, there's quite a lot to digest in this clip, so let me know how you get on. Thanks a lot.